Welcome to the course of Compiler Design. Today we are going to discuss overview of compilation process in this session. Why to learn compiler design? As we all know, computer system consists of hardware and software. The software is a set of programs, whereas hardware is just a piece of mechanical device. The hardware can understand only instructions in the form of electronic charges, that is zeros and ones, or we can call it as binary language. It would be very difficult for computer programmers to write such a codes in zeros and ones. Also, it is very difficult for the programmers to memorize all the combination of codes for each and every instructions in the programming language. That is, we developed the compiler for writing codes. So it would be easy for the programmers to write programs, and the compiler will convert that programs into binary language, that is machine understandable form. This is called language processing system. We will see the details of language processing system in the upcoming part of this session. So this will give the overview of the compiler, that is a translator which convert high level programming language into low level language. That is, it take input as high level languages such as C, and the output is a binary codes, that is a combination of zeros and ones. That is the duty of compiler. There are some special compilers. That is, first one is the cross compiler, and the second one is the source to source compiler. The cross compiler is a compiler which run on one machine and produce code for another machine. That is, if you consider two systems or two platforms, that is A and B, then A produces code for B, then we can say that the compiler in A is called cross compiler. That is a compiler which run in one particular system or machine and produce output code for another machine, then we can say that compiler is a cross compiler. The second special compiler is source to source compiler, which translate or convert the one source language in one programming language to another source code for another programming language. That is, it convert from a source language of a programming language to another source code of another programming language. That is, it is convert from source to source. That is the name, the source to source compiler. It is also called transcompiler or transpiler. That is the two special compilers. Then we are going to compare compilers with interpreters. Interpreter is also a translator which convert the high level language into low level language, just like a compiler. The difference is in the way they read the input. The compiler read the whole program as input, whereas the interpreter does the same by line. The compiler scans the entire program and translates it as a whole into machine code, whereas the interpreter translates the program one statement at a time. So the interpreter programs are usually slower compared to compiler codes. In case of interpreter which convert line by line, the compiler convert the whole program into binary code. The whole program into binary. That is the difference between the interpreter and the compiler. Okay, next we will see the details of language processing system. It contains several components in the language processing system. That is, first one is preprocessor, then the compiler, then assembler and loader. It forms the language processing system. These are the system software used in the language processing systems. Here we give the high level languages input to the language processing system, and we will get the machine code, as output. The whole processing is called language processing. The high level language is given to the first module of the language processing system, that is preprocessor. The preprocessor will do the file inclusion and macro expansion. That is, we all know that our programming language contains preprocessor directives such as hash include and hash define. The duty of the preprocessor is to perform the file inclusion and macro expansion. That means if our program contains a particular preprocessor directive like hash include iostream.h, then the preprocessor will include the corresponding header files into our program that will expand our source code. So it is called file inclusion. File is included into our program. The next the preprocessor duty is to macro expansion. That is, we will define something like hash define some macros in our program. Then that macro is expanded by the preprocessor in the language processing system. So the preprocessor are two duties. First one is the file inclusion and the second one is the macro expansion. Then the expanded file or a pure high level language is given to the compiler as input. The compiler converted it into the assembly language. Assembly language is a intermediate language which is not high level and low level. It is a intermediate, we can say it as a intermediate code as a assembly language. This assembly language is given as the input to the assembler. The assembler convert the assembly language into machine language. Then that machine code is that machine code is given to the next component of the language processing system, that is loader or linker. The linker will solve the external reference in the program. That is, we store our programs in different places. So to combine this program, we use the linker. Then the loader will load the program into main memory for execution. Then we will get the corresponding file for ready to execute. That is about the language processing system, how the high level programming language is converted into machine code. Then next we will going to see what is happening inside the compiler. The compiler convert the high level language into assembly code by several phases. To do the whole work as a simple easiest way, we are dividing the whole work into small pieces or small modules. We call it as phases. By different phases, we are converting the high level language into assembly language. There are mainly 6 phases in most of the compilers. That is lexic analyzer, then syntactic analyzer, then semantic analyzer, then intermediate code generation, then code optimization, then the target code generation. These all phases work with the help of symbol table and error handler modules. The symbol table is a data structure which is used to store all the informations about the variables or tokens in our program. It contains the current value of the particular variable. Also, it contains the liveness of the liveness or scope of the variables. The error handler will help to identify the errors and report it to the user in each and every phases of the compiler. We will give the high level language into the first phase of the compiler, that is lexic analyzer. It will take the high level language as input and it divide the programs into tokens. As we all know, all the programming languages contains the tokens. Tokens are the basic building block of a programming language. it contains, it may be identifier, it may be some operator, punctuation symbols, like that. So the lexical analyzer duty is to identify these tokens. So it will identify the tokens and it passed to the next phase, that is the syntactic analysis. So the input to the lexical analyzer is high-level language, and the output of the lexical analyzer is stream of tokens. It is given to the next phase. The syntactic analyzer check the syntactic errors. Each and every programming language define their syntactic rules by the grammars. We already studied grammar in theory of computation course. For each and every language, we will define some rules by using the grammars. Then the syntactic analyzer check the syntax of the programming language, if it is correct or not, by constructing the parse tree. This phase is also called the parser. The parser, there are two type of parser. That is, first one is the top-down parser, and the second one is the bottom-up parser. The difference is that it will create the parse tree. In the case of top-down parser, it will create it will create the root node, then last it will create the leaf node. From the creation of the trees from source, the root to leaf. So it is called a top-down parser. Or we can say that from the start symbol we will derive the string, then it is also called top-down parser. In the case of bottom parser, the first we will create the leaf nodes, and then we will go to the upside of the parse tree from leaf to the root node. So that is called bottom-up parser. Or we can say that from string we are reaching the start symbol, then it is called bottom-up parser. We already studied different top-down and bottom-up approaches in the previous sessions. Next, this parse tree is given as the input to the next phase, that is semantic analyzer. Semantic analyze. In the next section, we will see the semantic analyzer in details. We can group these 6 phases into 2 categories. First one is the analysis phase and the synthesis phase. The first 4 phases come under the analysis phase, that is the lexical analyzer and the syntactic analyzer and the semantic analyzer. And the intermediate code generation comes in analysis phase, and the remaining 2 phases, that is code optimizer and the code generation, comes in synthesis phase. We can group it as the front end and the back end, or we can call it as analysis phase or synthesis phase. The first 4 comes in the front end, and the last 2 comes under the back end of the compiler design process. So this section is to give a overview of the first 2 phases, or the compilation process. Next in the next session we will discuss semantic analyzer in details. Thank you.